Scott McLaughlin was looking unusually ragged this weekend, wiping the wall twice in qualifying on the first day. He still made it comfortably into the top 10 shootout, however. Mostert took 12th spot in the qualifying session, but a crash at turn 11 gave Scott McLaughlin the pole in the top 10 shootout. The number 55 Ford clipped the inside wall and pinballed to the outside, writing off the car so that he didn't start on Saturday or Sunday. In the first race, it was Craig Lounge who made a ripping start to pass Alex Bremer and take the early lead. The other DJR team, Penske Musquin, had a much worse start, followed by a trip down the escape road courtesy of Jack Perkins. It wasn't easy for D'Alberto to make progress, as displayed when he had contact with Chris Piffer at turn 4. Erebus had another tough day on Saturday, with Luke Youlden's splitter somehow coming loose, forcing him to come in and take a lengthy stop to replace the front bumper. Not long after, the pit stop cycle began. Afterwards, Whincup and McLaughlin were well clear of the field, followed by Van Gisbergen and Waters, who were battling over third. Jack Perkins stayed in the car and came out fifth, forming a battle pack of 5 behind him. Scott Pye was making progress in this group, getting past Anton De Pasquale at turn 4, also allowing Lee Holdsworth through, and then getting past Heimgartner in the Nissan before gaining pit stop priority, passing his teammate Perkins. Traffic played a big part in the lead battle. As there was a long green flag run to start the race, the field was spread out and gaps fluctuated as they caught and passed slower cars. The critical lap approached, and even before then, Perkins was in to hand over to Courtney after his hero stint. McLaughlin had issues on his pit exit, locking up and going straight on at turn 4 on his outlap. After this mistake, Van Gisbergen threatened to take the position every way. However, this never happened, and the Kiwis ranked second and third. Moments after the safety car, SVG managed to pass McLaughlin as Nick Percat ran it over a fairly sizable engine part that had come off Gary Jacobson's car. This bunched up the field for a thrilling final 10 laps. A calm restart was shattered by an incident where James Courtney turned Andre Heimgartner into the wall on the back straight. The number 22 got a pit lane drive through for this incident. It was also very static up the front, with not much changing position after the safety car. Jamie Whincup took the fairly comfortable 1-2 win for Red Bull Holden Racing Team, and Scott McLaughlin came home third. On Sunday, in qualifying, there was another huge accident, this time for the championship leader, rolling the car and leaving only 23 cars on the grid, as Mostert's car couldn't start either. It was a Red Bull front row lockout with Van Gisbergen ahead of Whincup, and then Davidson brothers lined up in front of Luke Youlden and David Reynolds. On lap 1, there was a pile-up at turn 11 involving Ash Walsh, Will Brown, Dean Canto and Richard Muscat were all involved. There was big damage for Muscat, who had to retire. Interestingly, Fabien Coulthard had started his car, but he couldn't make up too much progress. He made up 7 positions on lap 1, but after that he was stuck behind Michael Caruso. For most of the first stint, the battle for 3rd to 10th was in one long line, with Luke Youlden heading the queue. To dive out of this traffic, Caruso and Coulthard both came in early to get an undercut, but in Coulthard's case, this was to fix a problem. The pit stops in earnest were kicked off by Garth Tander, who brought the number 97 in, and James Courtney's car had an issue where the door wouldn't shut. When everyone had stopped, it was Michael Caruso who had a short field to put Cam Waters' car in front. Behind, it was still a Red Bull 1-2 with a big gap back to Reynolds. Van Gisbergen cleared Caruso fairly quickly, but Whincup was held up, so Reynolds could catch up. Caruso came in after this and kicked off the final stops. Whincup extended his stint to try and get an overcut on his teammate, but he was only able to slot in just behind. Reynolds really closed up in the final laps, and the front three ran together. Traffic in the final lap made things interesting, but the positions wouldn't change any, as Van Gisbergen led a Red Bull 1-2 home, with Reynolds in third. This closed the gap in the championship to 458 points in favour of McLaughlin, as we approach Sandown 500 in 2 weeks' time. The championship battle is getting a little bit more interesting now, but the Mustang is still in the leading position and in the driver's seat in this battle. I will have previews and reviews of the remaining rounds of the Supercars Championship, so the Sandown 500 and the Newcastle 500, So make sure you look after them, but until then, it's goodbye for now.